If you have a dream of one day becoming a full-time artist and being your own boss, I'm here to tell you it's possible. I know because I've done it. And today I'm going to share my story of how I went from art director at an ad agency to owner of multiple art-related businesses. I'm Katie and this is my business partner, Alana. And together we have teamed up to help artists like you make more money doing what you love. I won't indulge myself by going back too far and showing you pictures of myself in diapers. Well, okay, maybe just one. But I do think it's important to start with the fact that growing up, I had my sights totally set on the idea of being a professional singer. Up until my junior year in high school, I really hadn't even considered anything else. But when I took a photojournalism class in high school and was lucky enough to be exposed to graphic design, which I previously knew nothing about, I just completely fell in love. For those of you who are familiar with Love Island UK and watch it regularly like I do, you could say, my head was turned. So shout out to all the people who have ever changed their minds. You need to continue to be open and allow yourself to do this because when it comes to your career, nothing is set in stone and your happiness is priority. I ended up going to the University of North Texas and majoring in communication design. I had planned to become a graphic designer because that's the only path that I knew existed, but I ended up majoring or focusing in art direction, which really ended up suiting me because I love to strategize. So for anybody who doesn't know what art direction is, basically it means you're the one coming up with the big ideas. Like if you're working on an ad campaign, you would find out what your client is trying to achieve with that ad, and then you would go figure out what that ad will literally be, and you come up with the creative that ticks all their boxes, which is another Love Island reference. As an art director, you also probably have a hand in things like hiring actors or hiring illustrators or coming up with the basic styling and look of the set. It's basically just putting the creative pieces in place to create the overall vision that you're trying to achieve. I got a job as a junior art director at a small agency here in Austin and ended up working there out of school for about 3 years. And let me just say, I would not be the owner of my own business today if I hadn't had that experience. I always think it's a good idea to work for somebody else before you go to work for yourself because there is so much that you can learn. The ad agency that I ended up working at was only about 10 people, so I got some amazing hands-on experience. I got to work with a team and I learned so much from all of them. I got to direct professional photographers. I got to sit in a million client meetings and even lead quite a few of them. I got used to taking feedback and making changes and adjustments. I got to travel for commercial shoots. There was so much that I was able to glean from that job. I even came up with an advertising campaign idea where I got to hire my favorite lettering artist, Becca Clayson. I actually flew out to Utah to work with her on the campaign at her home, and it really lit a fire in me. Meeting someone like Becca who had forged her own path to owning her own lettering business was so inspiring to me, and I started thinking more and more about self-employment as a viable option. As I toyed with that idea in the back of my mind, I started trying out business ideas and practicing skills while I still had an awesome day job to pay my bills. I started an Etsy shop and screen printed my own posters, and they ended up selling really well, which was very encouraging. And I also started being very vigilant about saving my money. I was also becoming more interested in lettering, so whenever it was possible at my day job, I would turn every project that I could into a lettering project, so it was an opportunity for me to build my skills. And I also started obsessing over educating myself about business, of which I knew nothing. I started listening to every podcast, reading every book, going through every blog that I could just so that I could fill my mind with all this information and get myself in the right headspace. And when I really decided to get serious, I started writing a business plan, which ended up being like 40 pages because I'm a crazy person and I'm risk averse. So having a solid business plan in my hands really made me feel a lot more confident. that it wasn't just a stupid risk, it was a calculated risk. So I told myself that once I finished that business plan, I would put in my 2 weeks notice, and I did. Was it scary? Hell yeah. Is this easy? Nuh-uh. Many people say that you should only go out on your own once you have so many freelance clients that you simply can't keep up with your day job, but that definitely wasn't the case for me. I had only had a few freelance clients at that point, but that was part of why I decided to create a product-based business to start. I took the first 2 months of working for myself to just focus on creating my line of products, so art prints and stationery, and I also had some tea towels in there. And then I decided to launch my line, which I called Katie Made That. To be honest, not much happened in my online shop. Sure, there were some friends and family purchases, a couple of nice supporters, but it wasn't anything like, whoa, I've made it now. But I'd planned for that. I knew that that was probably gonna be the case and this was gonna be a slow burn. So I said, okay, I got this. And I hit the ground running with marketing efforts. I mostly started wholesaling to retail shops and going to lots of craft fairs around town. And from going out and meeting people at these craft fairs, I started building real relationships and I started getting a couple freelance clients here and there. And as I started posting my art print and greeting card designs on social media, I started getting inquiries from real companies who wanted to work with me. With every person that I met and image that I posted on social and income stream that I added to my business, I slowly inched forward a little bit every day. And I probably learned the most from my failures, the products that flopped, the freelance clients that were terrifying, and the projects that did not go smoothly. Those are the things that taught me the most. With that process of slowly moving forward, now I've lettered for clients like Penguin Random House and Amazon Music and Trader Joe's and Erin Condren, a lot of awesome brands that I never thought that I would be working with. So the next big twist in my story was after I had all this experience gathered under my belt. I'd worked with these clients, I'd tried a lot of things and failed at a lot of things, and I knew what worked and didn't work in my business. That's when I met Alana Griffo, and she slid into my Instagram DMs. We realized that we had had a ton of really similar experiences, and we actually ended up teaming up to create a class on art licensing together. The course went so well, and we just really gelled and understood each other and had different strengths and weaknesses that just vibed so well together. So we decided to create a business that we called Lumiere, which is actually the brand behind this very video that you're watching, so that we could share our stories and our knowledge of business for artists with other artists like you. And Lumiere has been this whole other journey that has been really special. It's a chance for me to take this knowledge pot that I've been compiling and throwing ingredients into and share it with other people who are at the same place that I was maybe 5-10 years ago. So it's really a joy to do this, and it fills up a different part of my brain and my time and my heart than some of the other things that I do in my business. So overall, my story is not one of instant glory and fame. It's definitely been more of a slow burner. But oh my gosh, I am so much more in my own element being my own boss. It has not been a cakewalk by any means, and I do not want to portray the idea that this is something that is easy to do. You have to work your freaking little butt off, and it's up to you to decide if that's worth it or not to you, and it might not be. There's just this concept or this impression that being your own boss is the end-all be-all goal. There's nothing cooler than that. But it's not the right thing for everybody. It's certainly not a good fit for a lot of personality types. And I've struggled with my personality type. Like I said, I'm very risk averse, and it actually prompted anxiety attacks for me. So I want to be very transparent and real with how much work and mindset work and chutzpah and perseverance that you have to have if you're going to go down this path. But it can be so rewarding. So hopefully you've heard something in my story that has resonated with you today. I'd say the main thing that I hope you take away is that it is okay to build something slowly. It's okay to change your mind and evolve and not be an instant millionaire. Happiness is the ultimate goal, whatever that means to you. Wherever you are on your path, Alana and I are cheering you on, and we've been in your shoes. We'd love to hear from you in the comments, so let us know what inspired you or what your next move is going to be towards your career goals. And as always, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the advice we share every Tuesday. Now go kick some butts, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!